In recent weeks, we have all seen things that should not be, and yet are. Something has weaponized the seas against us.
What's happening in the sea is in some way a reaction to what we have done to it.
This could be a very dangerous road to be going down.
Wir haben keine Zeit, vorsichtig zu handeln.
This new intelligence, could ask what you are calling it?
For the time being, I've taken to calling them the Ur.
We picked up the same signal in the Arctic Ocean.
I can't guarantee that we will make it back alive, so...
The sounds we picked up were concentrated in the Arctic and the Antarctic. Logic dictates that a person or animal is more likely to send messages from the places they frequent the most. And I think we can assume the same for the Earth.
Are you suggesting that the Yor have some sort of home?
I don't think that we have enough information to make that assumption. We can assume that the Ur, just like any highly evolved marine species, have a breeding ground. And if they do, it's probably not a single site. It's probably several to ensure their survival.
Which you believe will also be in Arctic or Antarctic?
We do.
If there is a breeding ground, we expect it would require high ambient pressure that would be essential to the reproductive biology. My guess, from what we've seen here to date, is that it would be a minimum of 5 to 5.5 kilometers down.
Okay, Charlie, you're up.
Given the decline in sea ice, several areas in the Arctic have become more accessible from the world above. One of these areas is the Molloy Deep, which is just over 5.5 kilometers in depth and is one of the areas where Sam picked up the most signals.
The Ur could have been living at these ocean depths for tens, even hundreds of millions of years. Undisturbed and unknown.
You think we should plot a course to the Molloy Deep?
We do.
The ice tends to scatter and absorb sound, so we need to run a test to see if our equipment is strong enough to broadcast through it. We should start seeing some ice when we enter the Arctic Ocean. We can run the tests then. We can take the HOV out for a test run at the same time. Before we meet this thing, we better be ready for it.
In addition to the interview with all on board, you will be keeping written logs as well?
Yes. And I'll upload all the interviews at the end of the day to your server, along with the next of kin, emergency contact details of all on board.
I'm sure their families will appreciate it.
I'll upload the written logs at the same time.
I hope I will never need them, but in the event you don't return, the record of Dr. Jansen's mission and all who joined it must be preserved for the information it contains and the history we create.
We have cameras on the main deck, engine room, hangar. Anywhere on the ship there's activity, so we can keep an eye on what's going on during deployments. Catch any problems before they happen. If you want to take a look at the footage, if you want to use it in your reports, you clear it with me.
I will.
Please. If you want to film the crew, you ask me. You want to film in a cabin, the galley, elsewhere on the ship, you ask me.
Yes, sir.
Regarding, of course, they use the current...
Life on a ship's a fishbowl, even without cameras poking into everyone's business. Understood?
Understood.
Mr. Kofi, 79 degrees, 8.1, 2 minutes north. 02 degrees, 49.0 east.
Roger that, Captain.
One question. When am I getting an interview with you?
As soon as I find a moment.
And when exactly will that be?
Maybe tomorrow I'll find some time.
I'll hold you to that.
And it's yes, Captain, not sir.
Yes, Captain.
We established that the signal we picked up is likely to have come from an intelligence. The challenge now is to let them know we can hear them, and if they respond, to create the building blocks by which we can communicate. But given the increasing severity of the attacks, there's a pretty good chance we'll die before we get to do that.
Can you try and be a bit less...
What?
Defeatist.
Why sugarcoat it?
Maybe say something like, the mission isn't without its dangers, and we're working incredibly hard to ensure...
Why don't you write the lines and we'll say them for you?
It's supposed to be natural.
I was being natural.
We know that the Ur are somehow altering the morphology and behavior of the species they enter. We think it must be something to do with the nervous system.
First thing we need to do is run an analysis of the nervous tissue of the mussels, the whale, the lobsters, the crabs infected by the Ur.
And if you're right, that the Ur are altering the species they enter to make them attack,
Then we figure out a way to reverse the process.
I did my underwater vehicle training 2 years ago on an old rescue sub.
Fundamentals are the same. This one just has a few more bells and whistles. Courtesy of Mifune Enterprises. So why you?
why me what?
Why do you get to make the movie?
I volunteered.
So you know I look better from the left.
I'll keep that in mind.
Can we get back to this?
What's with the PS?
Generator output shows okay. Supplies all look fine.
Is Riku coming?
He's a little under the weather. Cecile's given him something to calm his stomach.
You get used to the rolling sensation. Takes time, though.
Mm-hmm.
You're okay?
Ryu, I'm fine. Iron stomach. When I was in high school, I worked in a Japanese theme park. The money was not great, but the rides were free. And I learned if I wanted to have any fun, I'd have to get over the motion sickness. I also learned to get over the terrible theme park food. To be honest, when I first saw your ICPO presentation, I thought you were all mad. An intelligent life force living in the ocean all this time?
So why'd you come?
Mr. Mifune. He convinced me. And I've learned not to doubt his instincts.
How long have you worked for him?
14 years. I heard a talk he gave at my university about how renewables would power the world of tomorrow. His companies were already pivoting, well ahead of the other energy giants, well ahead of everyone. And I introduced myself to him and I said, when I graduate, I'm going to work for you. That I wanted to be at the forefront, not the rear guard of any profession I chose. So if it turns out he's right, that you are right, I want to be here for it. I think we need a better name for the year. If we find them, and tell the world what we've discovered. It's got to be something people can remember, something they can pronounce.
I think we've got more important things to worry about.
The world's just changed. Tell me what's more important than that.
Now that we have isolated the cross-section of the messages we picked up, the next step is to broadcast those messages back to the Ur. Then we add a spike of our own. The cry of a human baby. A small but distinct change in the signal so that they know we're not just playing their signal back. Now, if we get anything back, and it includes our spike, we'll know that they heard us.
You see the area which is glowing?
Yes.
It indicates an abnormally high level of glutamate, which suggests the Ur are going after the NMDA receptors on the nerve cells.
NMDA?
Methyl D-aspartate.
NMDA receptors regulate behavior. Yeah, think of them as satellite dishes, which communicate with every corner of the nervous system, informing the body on how to react. Excuse me. Glutamate. That's an NMDA receptor stimulant, which, if we're right, the Ur are somehow injecting into the species to take control of them, like a puppeteer pulling the strings of its puppets.
Or an army, marching to its orders.
Ich habe gehört, du tauchst raus?
Parallel zu Sams Kommunikationstest. Der Captain will sehen, ob das Teil überhaupt schwimmt. Ist der frisch?
Ist gerade durchgelaufen.
Und wir müssen schauen, ob es in dieser Tiefe tauchen kann, wo ihr glaubt, dass dieses Ding lebt.
Begleitet dich jemand?
Bisher bin ich allein. Boah, hast du die gerade erst gemacht?
Ja. Ich habe nicht gesagt, dass er gut ist.
Du bist doch Wissenschaftlerin, oder? Ihr arbeitet doch mit Verhältnissen.
Das ist Chemie. Ich bin Biologin. Auf diesem Schiff gibt es genug Leute, die wissen, wie man Kaffee kocht, aber ich bin die Einzige hier, die schon mal in einem HOV saß.
Ich dachte, ein altes Seenotrettungs-U-Boot.
Ja, ein Grund mehr, dich zu begleiten. Kann ich noch was lernen?
Okay.
Aber wenn wir zurückkommen, dann...
Sagst mir, wie man Kaffee macht.
Ja.
Dead slow ahead, Mr. Kofi. Then stop engines. Comms, start broadcast. I repeat, start broadcast.
Here we go. Ready?
Ready.
All systems go, ready for descent.
Watch your head.
Requesting connection, HV to bridge.
Roger that.
All set. Go with engine 1, 2, 3, 5, 80%.
Releasing into the pool. Venting air from tank.
Opening lower doors.
Mind if I watch?
Fine with me.
Captain,
Watch yes, feel no.
you're going to have to talk to me sometime.
Later.
When?
Later.
Leveling off at 1,500 meters.
Was ist das?
Keine Ahnung. Kannst du was sehen?
Nein.
Comms? We've picked up something on the sonar. A mass of some kind.
We'll take a look. We got something. The others should hear this.
2 scrubber fans have failed.
We're running out of fresh air.
Switching to backup. Bridge, do you copy? Bridge, do you copy that?
Luther, do you see anything? Anything? Luther, do you copy?
What's going on?
Look, Sam and Leah picked up a signal coming in at the same time we picked up something on the sonar.
Do you have any idea what it is?
No, but whatever it is, it's getting closer.
Wir brechen ab.
Noch nicht. Ich glaube, da ist was. Schalt das Licht aus.
HOV, do you have a visual? Do you copy?
Jasper, call them back. Now.
Luther, return to ship. I repeat, return to ship. Luther! Luther, do you copy?
Captain, we've lost contact.
Tell Sam and Leon to stop broadcasting.
Come, cease broadcast. I repeat, cease broadcast. We cut the broadcast, but the signal's still coming in.
Sorry, fuck it. Wir hauen ab.
Okay, copy that. Open the lower doors.
Open lower doors. HOV coming back on board.
Close the lower doors.
Closing lower doors.
HOV's back on board. The doors are closed. Ready for recharge.
Is the signal you received the same as you sent out?
It's been modulated and compressed, but yes, it's the same. Except for the baby's cry, which has been changed
Why?
to show us that whoever or whatever sent the message understands what we did and is replying in kind.
We have contact.
We do.
Thank you, Sarah. What are you working on?
I was thinking about what you said about an army marching to the orders of the year.
If we are right,
that the Yer are using glutamate to stimulate the nervous system of the animals they take over. I was wondering if we can find something to depress it, you know?
Are these your children?
Yes. That was last summer.
They're beautiful.
Thank you. Do you have children?
No. I've thought about it. But to be honest, even if we survive this, I think I'd really need to consider whether I'd want to bring a child into whatever kind of world this will be.
I couldn't imagine myself as a mother. It was my ex-husband that wanted them. But then they come along and you can't believe how much she loved them. I remember when Isabel was little, standing underneath the climbing frame as she went higher and higher, terrified she'd fall, getting ready to catch her. What nobody tells you, what no one even thinks to mention, is the fear. You're afraid for them in a way that you could never be for yourself. And that you would do anything to protect them.
We heard from the captain right before we lost communication.
You didn't see anything?
Charlie said she did.
Did she say what it was?
Just that there was something out there. This far north, the water, the ice plays tricks with the light. You want my opinion?
Depends.
If you want to see something, you see something. Particularly if you have imagination. Like Charlie, a lot of you must have in spades to dream up something like the Yer.
So why did you come along?
To see if you were right. So does this mean I'm all good for the rest of the trip?
I promise nothing.
Each line represents the wavelengths of the messages we received. Now, I can stretch or shrink each line to create an image, which I can send out once the captain gives us the go-ahead. And I'm betting the Yer will be able to understand. What is this?
Cerebrospinal fluid. It means there could be a tear or hole in the membrane surrounding the brain or spinal cord. She must have fallen, hit her head. We need to slow her heart rate, reduce her blood pressure, stop any cranial swelling. In the cabinet, there are some sedatives. Pentobarbital, thiopental. Can you get me some ice and cooling blankets? Can you prepare a drip while I administer?
Yes.
Okay.
a surge, there was a blast of sound, low frequency, below the lower limit of audibility, so you wouldn't have heard it.
Was it the same as the blast of sound that came in before?
Yes, but it was much stronger.
Well, do we know what produced it?
No, but I'm pretty sure it emanated from inside the ship.
Inside the ship?
This time, yes.
Can you send what do you have on it? So we'll run a check and see if we can locate the source. Now?
Sure.
How's Alicia?
She is stable.
Is she going to pull through?
It's just too early to tell.
I need to know if anything we're doing could be producing an acoustic signal.
Nothing from engineering.
Picked up anything?
Nothing, Captain.
No gear faults? No faults, Captain. Are the ballast tanks trimmed? They are.
What's that on her arm?
I don't know. It just appeared on her arms, legs. I thought it might be blood clots, but there is no discoloration of the skin.
It could be a sign of some internal trauma to her nervous system.
Trauma to the nervous system doesn't manifest in that way, does it?
It doesn't, but I don't think we can rule anything out. I think we should do a lumbar puncture so we can examine the fluid in her spinal column.
You can do that on board?
It's pretty straightforward.
I need you to hold her steady during the procedure.
Fine with me.
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
It's okay.
Done.
I never thought I'd get to see this.
The Arctic?
The Arctic, or anywhere 100 miles away from home. I dreamt about it. Imagine myself on a ship like this, looking at an ocean I'd never seen. being afraid, someone getting hurt, wasn't part of the dream.
I spent a lot of time on research vessels when I was a child, with my parents.
Where?
Mostly south of the equator. New Zealand, Mauritius, Cape Verde.
Is your first ship this far north?
This far north, yes. The Arctic, no. They woke me up one night. A storm. My mother told me everything was going to be okay. Put me on a lifeboat with some others, told me to wait for them there, but they never came. Everybody thinks I should hate the ocean, be afraid to go anywhere near it, but it makes me feel closer to them. It makes me feel like they're there, keeping me safe.
The slide on the right is an image of Alicia's nerve cells taken from her spinal fluid. The cells are normal, healthy. The nerve cells on the left are from the same sample and are badly damaged.
Do you know what caused it?
You see the white threads? It's the same substance we found inside the animals infected by the year. We think the substance tried to fuse with some of her cells, the same way it did with them.
The year is inside of her.
The year, or the substance it produces to take over the nervous system of the species it enters.
Which means she must have come into contact with him.
It does, yes.
When we were coming back in the HRV, I thought I saw something.
What did you see?
I don't know, but whatever it was that was out there, I think it followed us back inside.
If it did, it could still be on the ship.
We need to secure the hangar. We need to run some tests, make sure we don't put anyone else's life in danger until we can figure out what this thing is.
Everybody on board signed on for this mission knowing they might not return.
Yeah.
When I was in the Navy, every sailor had his list of superstitions. Always step onto a boat with your right foot. Never start a voyage on a Friday or change your boat's name. Never say goodbye when departing. You know, we all think we can see the world clearly as it is, but we don't. We see the world as we need to see it to make our lives livable. Never say goodbye, and there will be no goodbye. That's what gets us through.
彼女の具合は
容態は安定しましたが、船内での手当てには限界があります。
彼女に家族は？一番の身内は母親となってます。ラビーナの病院に連れて行ければ。
アドリア海でカニが異常発生している。ラベンナを含む全域に退避令が出た。
母親には彼女は事故に遭ったが十分な治療を受けていると伝えよう。動けるようになったらすぐにイタリアに戻る。今回限りの特例だ。通信遮断は引き続き有効とする。
When we broadcast messages out into space, we include images of ourselves. So I thought, why not send out something about us and the Ur? How the sea gave birth to us both.
Evolution.
As I prefer to call it, a common past.
Okay, let's do it.
Sure.
Need a break?
Couldn't sleep?
No.
Yeah. Let me know if you hear anything.
Yeah.
I'll be right outside.
Sam.